Straight from Jacob.
Forest Beats.
I'm a Hebrew. I'm a Hebrew. I'm a Hebrew. I'm a Hebrew. No, this ain't religion. Dog, this how I'm living. Tell them this my culture, man. It's more than just some feelings. I'm a Hebrew. 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 Tell them I'm the true Jew. If you descend from them slaves off them ships, then brother, you too. Bless me with the melanin, special, I'm intelligent. When it comes to medicine, pays to be so negligent. He that have ears, let him hear like an elephant. Christ is my attorney and the kingdom is my settlement. Border with the fringes, my description, let them know what's up. Bind the adversary, put a demon in a cobra clutch. Anointing, I can feel it, Holy Spirit got the golden touch. Enduring through these curses, hard purple like the Joker's tux. Hypocrites, they talk, it ain't authentic till you live it. Before and after Constantine, a different breed of Christian.
Shalom, shalom. I hope y'all hear me. It's a beautiful day outside. And y'all see the question that I got up there, right? It ain't the Sabbath here yet. So all those that's the Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom. So I'm not about to get off into no extra stuff, right? But I had left it alone, with the whole flat earth thing. Because y'all know I never got into them debates. I never did. I just sat back and watched them because it was like, who cares what shape the earth is? Like, it don't do nothing on the salvation tip. It don't. Nothing at all. I don't care how they try to make it seem Lucifer deceived you and Luciferian and all that. You can say that about a lot of things, right? So that ain't even my motivation for even speaking on it, right? Now, my initial question that I put on YouTube, I had two questions. And I seen that one of the bigger flat earthers, I believe, synced my video, but being that it ain't hitting the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100,000 views, he probably just didn't put my name out there. And he tried to give an answer, and I'm like, that ain't right. And I looked at the people that was listening to it. They know that answer wasn't right? And so I got another answer. Because, see, this the thing. If you believe that Earth is flat, right? I'm not saying I disagree with you. I ain't said Earth is a globe. I ain't said none of that. Like, I really don't believe in the solar system as far as how they say it move and all that. I ain't with that, right? I really listen to everything, and I'm looking at the Bible and the stuff in science that I can see, right? So I want to ask y'all, if you believe in the flat earth model, right? And in that model, you got a flat surface and you got a sun and a moon going around it, right? I showed this before. You can see it on all their things, but it's like they trying to throw niches in there now. And so I was looking at a video early on Sonnet TV. I can't think of the dude's name. But he asked the question that I always ask. Now, this is concerning the flat earthers who believe that it's an ice rim or an ice wall around the earth. Now, I've noticed that it's people that believe it's an ice rim around the earth, y'all. Now, a lot of y'all gonna probably laugh when y'all hear this because y'all never heard this before. But this is becoming a common argument. And I usually didn't deal with it because I was like, man, that's silly. And then when I started seeing the legitimate arguments, I started looking at the global arguments, and I was just like, man, look, I don't really believe either side 100. But the reason I'm addressing it is because somebody got real cocky last night on one of their flat earther shows. And I thought to myself, well, I'm just going to ask a simple scientific question, just for me observing it, right? Because we all agree, well, no, the flat earthers say ain't nobody been up there. So if nobody been up there, how you know the size and shape of the earth, right? And a lot of them don't believe in the biblical text. So y'all just can't argue back and forth on what verses sound like a flat DVD or a spherical ball, a basketball, right? So you can only be going off something you think. And I saw the brother try to say, no, it comes from years of people traveling, and then they mark down what they traveled. Well, and then try to use Columbus, and it was like, well, so many people would have died, they would at least had a real explanation of what was over there. So let's stop with that. People going off belief. So I asked a question. I took the models that I seen, right? Like with a dome. They say it's a dome. They say that's what the firmament is and all that, right? Now, the people that don't believe in the Bible, some of them say the same thing. It's a dome. And they got that video that's been out for years. We used to laugh at with the supposed rocket going up and hitting something and making a clanking noise. I always asked, at that speed and that distance, why it didn't explode? And why would that sound like glass? And why do certain things come through the atmosphere? And all type of questions I had, but I just kind of gave up on that. Now, So my question is, if the earth is flat with a dome around it, y'all, right? Now I want y'all to hear this. If the earth is flat with a dome around it, and the sun and moon is circling within this dome, you could take regular science, take a dome, let something that hot rotate around. The heat temperature is going to get so hot to the things on the ground. So my question is, how is it an ice wall? What maintains this ice on the ice wall when the sun gets that hot? When according to the reports, some of the reports I've seen on flat earther science, that it's going around that same rim. Even when it circulates back in, it has to come back out. So they couldn't really answer my question about how Alaska get 30 days a night. Because if it's pulsating, like I say, it got to do that in other spots with the same significant amount of time. Or that's just a dysfunctional design. That would go more with a Big Bang theory, because it ain't no order to it. Like, how is it doing that? And you can't see it. So my thing is, if it's an ice wall with a dome covering it, and the sun is really closer than some of the reports, which I don't agree on how far close the sun and moon is, because I don't know who measured it. Like, who got that close, they ain't burned up. See, I don't agree with either side. I believe both sides indoctrinated to a degree, right? But my thing is, if it's a dome with a sun inside this dome, inside the dome now, and then it's an ice wall inside this same dome. I'll take an example. When you go on a football field and they play it in a dome, if they leave the dome cracked, or if somebody just on a regular football field with no dome, when the sun beams so hot and so in certain regions, depending on the season, say it's 100 degrees everywhere in let's say it's 90 degrees everywhere in Chicago, right? Do y'all know on that football field it'd be 112 degrees? Now, my question is, with that sun doing that same thing under a dome, wouldn't that make it so hot that this ice wall got to melt at sometimes? What is building back up the ice of this ice wall? Is it like a built-in deep freezer under the ice wall? Like, we got to be for real with this. Now, I'm asking because nobody's been able to answer the days of night and the days of dark in Alaska, if it's that model that they got with the flat and the thing, the sun and moon going around. So another question is, how do you explain the seasons? Whereas you go to Africa, matter of fact, I'll use somebody in the Americas. And most parts of Alaska in the summertime is averaging 100 and something degrees a day, right? So if it's averaging 100 and something degrees a day, how could you have a Earth that is really closer than the measurements that they say, beaming at this constant heat level all season around, and certain things don't just burn up? Like, how is the ice wall there, and what repairs the ice wall? See, this stuff I'm asking that I believe if you've made that a real science, you should be able to answer it. So that's my question. You know, since people want to take it serious, the flat earther doctrine, just like the globalists take the global doctrine serious. And then I've been seeing that for the last couple years with the UN got the same symbol as the flat earth map that they use. But when I'm looking at that, I'm like, how the hell the flat earthers didn't get that from the UN? And how do you say that that's a flat earth? It's just round. You know what I'm saying? They bunched it into one spot. So I'm not advocating even for a globe, because I'm telling you what I mean, and I don't care if people look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what shape do I think the earth is? I didn't say I didn't think it wasn't round, a circle like the Bible say. What I'm saying is I don't believe in the solar system, though. Like the way they say the solar system move and all that, and I don't vibe with that. You know, according to the Bible, that don't make sense to me. Because like I keep telling y'all, Joshua made the sun stop. He ain't make the earth stop. So, you know, even if the earth is doing a little spin, it's in one spot. So what is the earth doing? I mean, what is the sun doing? So I'm not even discussing what I believe. I'm going off the fact that you got cocky people who done got so scientifically, they think they got this thing so down packed. But when I'm just using common sense and I'm looking and I'm like, if it is a dome over, now I want y'all to hear this. They got a video that they keep using. We got sent this video about 2-3 years ago when the whole earth flat, because you know you got a bunch of HEBREWZ that believe in flat earth. And you got HEBREWZ that believe in the globe earth. And they used to have these debates. And so I remember back then when they was kind of getting me there, like, man, they got some good questions talking about the flat earthers. But then when they did that one with the arrow shooting up, and it sounded like it hit some glass, right, or some metal or whatever, and then it happens to drop down and, you know, it goes out or whatever. My whole thing was, at that speed, why it didn't explode? Because it had to be gas powered. If it was electrical power, why it didn't catch fire? And how did they go find it? You know, stuff like that. Because they like to use common sense, so let's use common sense. That was a kind of a goofy, I think the whole missile thing was goofy. And that just sounded like something clanked out in it and it dropped. That's what it sounded. It don't look like it hit nothing. So my whole thing is, you know, I really want to know that. Like, how is it flat and the earth, and the sun and the moon is doing this around the earth, right? How is it doing this and the ice walls don't melt? That's a simple question. They never melt. All ice I know melt. Even in the coldest regions on earth, Antarctica, if you just live in a region where it's cold, like, see, I'm in the luxury, I'm in Chicago, and I can watch, we can get ice up this tall, y'all. We can get 4 feet ice, snow. And the sun will come out and the ice will stay maintained for a while. But do you know that ice will not build back up unless the temperatures are sustained at a certain level and some rain or something is involved, or some more snow. Other than that, I don't see how it could be maintained. It's gonna melt sooner or later, especially when the seasons change. Places like Africa, it's hot all year round. All year round. How do you explain that with the sun being at the same level and coming around and never skipping a beat? None of that. Because it ain't nothing moving, so it ain't nothing turning. So it ain't no axis tilt to where it would dodge that area for a season, or ain't none of that. It's just doing that, but for some reason, this stuff did not melt. I'm talking to the flat earthers that believe in the ice wall. Come on. So now I'm starting to think as much as globe earthers are indoctrinated, or I would say solar system, because that's really what I'm against. I don't believe in the solar system like, y'all do. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't something that I debate. I could be wrong about it. I could be wrong about a globe. The flat earthers could be right. My thing is, though, when they turn over to that, most of them, they don't even think logically no more. They just think, yep. And they ain't even thought to think this thing out. I'm looking at both sides, y'all, and I'm telling y'all, they did not think this thing out because I ain't getting the answers. So somebody answer that for me, man. How is that sun going around on them edges, and that's the same spot where the ice wall at, and it ain't melted? Because if it melt, then this ecosystem thing would be explained a little bit. Polar caps, water, receding, exceeding, land digressing, and all of this. That's if you believe that that's even happening. If you don't, then, hey, we have no argument in that. But since y'all try to get scientific, I just want somebody to show us how that go. And like, what was the other thing I wanted to ask? Oh, and another thing is, I heard somebody say about how strong some of these telescopes and periscopes and stuff is, right? And they were saying that you can literally see out in space. Now, one time they said it ain't no space as we know it. It's a dome. But then they'll say, well, if you look out there, you will see something totally different than what they telling you are as far as the round planets and stars and stuff. But this was funny. Them same people that tell you that, you ask them, well, why can't I use that same thing, get on a super tall mountain or hill and look straight across to China and see those monuments over there? Or why I can't look straight across and see, what's that over there in Dubai, India? Why I can't look across and see that? If you want to go off curvature and all that, right? So these things, I just want to hear the answer, and I promise you, if you give a good explanation in the comments, because I'm putting this on YouTube, I'm going to give you your props and say that was a good explanation. So that's all I was on. We got the peace to the flatters and the globers, man, because at the end of the day, I don't care what shape this joint is, to be quite honest with you. I just want it. I just can't wait to be on it when it becomes a utopia. I want salvation, because I don't want to spend all my time worried about the shape of a planet, and we don't even know how to maintain this planet regardless of what shape it is or the people that's on it. Y'all feel me? So with that, I say shalom, shalom. The last thing I was saying was, they fear the truth. Just from the amount of people that you get attacked on. Let me use an example, right? This Israelite thing is, without a doubt, they keep saying it, the fastest growing movement in the Western Hemisphere. And we only count in the Western Hemisphere. Probably because a lot of so-called blacks in Africa already knew they was Israelites. They may not have been keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments like they supposed to, but for the most part, a lot of the ones over there who we can put a thumb on through historical research in the scriptures, they have some oral acknowledgement that they come from an Israelite lineage, right? So over here, I want to give y'all an example of why I say shalom. Shalom, Makosi. What's up, Yael? I'm going to tell you what I mean by they fear us. It's even to the degree where you got camps. I see them. And if they ain't in a camp, you got these internet camps, these cyber camps, all Carl, Israel Doctrine, don't be talking about I stole your word, cyber. But yeah, he on that cyber, cyber stalking and stuff. That was a good one. But yeah, I'm going to use that term. So you got cyber camps, like basically, I'm not even going to, we need that. That's what this is here for. Some people don't have physical camps to go to or whatever. But I even see the infighting. It's like they competing over who can win the most souls. You know, who, you know, they bragging rights on who woke up the most people or something like that. When in the reality of it all, I hope you know you signed it on a dotted line to go to spiritual war. So I hope you ain't faking in the paint. You know, you could walk around, you could have the biggest fringes on earth, like the Pharisees. They say they enhanced the garments. They enhanced what was it? I can't even remember the exact term, but what it say? They enlarged the borders of their garment. So you could have some fringes look like chandeliers. You could have a super duper Hebrew name with 95 letters in it. You can, you know, you can have that whole look. You could have a staff as big as a Christmas tree walking around here. But if your fruit ain't bearing and you still around here acting like a nigga, you ain't doing no good. I'm just keeping it 100. You ain't doing no good. I know some people ain't gonna like it, but hey, y'all know how I am. Just because I'm sitting down don't mean nothing. I can fight a little bit. So, you know, you got something to say it to me. But, you know, but this is where the fear part come in at, right? Look at little things like Amari Stoudemire. When he first came out, that he was an Israelite. You know, people want to know, what camp he from? Who he studying under? Then they found out he was with the IOG. You know, I seen little stuff. People was saying, you know, this and that. Well, why he ain't doing this? Well, why he ain't doing that? Have you ever thought, first of all, you don't know what he doing. You don't know who in contact with him and none of that. So y'all need to stop being busybodies, you know. The fact that he didn't deny it and he put it out there, how you know that ain't his job? You don't know who he talking to. You don't know what people he touching in his everyday life. You see what I'm saying? What up, Ronnie? Peace, Hebrew. What up, Sister Mary? What up, Jonathan? You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know what that man doing. Y'all don't know if I've talked to him. Y'all don't know what. But this is what the point I'm getting at. Let me shift off Israel and talk about, well, some of them Israel too. Let's talk about the opposing force that really fit his truth. And that's the devil's minions, right? They come in all shapes, forms, fashions, and colors. They was terrified as hell. Now, luckily to them, he's at the end of his career as an NBA superstar, right? You know, he's still doing pretty good. You know what I mean? The brother is cool. But, you know, we had sister like Lauryn Hill. You see how her career kind of took that dip. Everybody know Lauryn Hill is an Israelite. She knows she is real. And an Israelite that believe in Jesus, too, from my understanding. So, you know, that's kind of rare. I mean, even the name, you know what I'm saying? But you see, she kind of got attacked, right? So your question got to be, what is so scary about these Negroes knowing that they Israelites? Oh, God. It was just the sky falling when Kendrick Lamar came out and said he was an Israelite. Oh, my God. I mean, they hit the panic button, you know, because he's at the peak of his career. He's literally at the elite celebrity status. That man come out and say, I ain't black no more. Don't call me black no more. I'm an Israelite. They lost their mind. I mean, they nuclear warheads got pointed towards other countries. You know what I'm saying? They talking about shutting off the lights and power and all. They is scared of this, man. And I'm going to tell y'all the simple reason why. The more of our people that know they Israelites, the more people is going to behave like Israelites. Not the Israelites they got through in captivity, but what God intended for us to be, a light unto the world, not a stink fest. I think Nick Cannon, to responding to Ozza, Nick Cannon was more under the Moorish American Act, but he recognizes that we of Hebrew stock, as they put it. I know that from my Moorish affiliates. A lot of them that's under the Moorish American Act will recognize that we Israelites, but then it's a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, that they put on there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Nick Cannon know Israelites are black and Negroes and of that name. That's why he'll say shalom to you quick. You know what I'm saying? But he's not really I would say, see, that's the point I'm making. Some of us find out we Israel, but we not ready to take on that full responsibility of living like an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? What good is being an Israelite if you still out there, you know, talking about you finna sleep with every broad on the block, you know, you gonna bust this nigga in the head, take his money. I'm just talking real gutter, because imagine an Israelite walking up to you talking like this, you know what I'm saying? You know, you can steal from people as long as they Gentiles, they ain't Israel, you know what I'm saying? I eat a pork chop long as it ain't during the Passover, you know. Matter of fact, you got doctrine out here that say we can't even keep the laws because we not in the land. When the whole book say return to the laws and I get you back in the land. That's what's. So they are counterproductive. I don't even care for them even knowing they Israel. Like, you should have just not even said you was an Israelite. They basically saying, you know you an Israelite, but you can just stay the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won't keep the Passover, but ain't nothing wrong with them on December 25th sitting up under a big-ass Christmas tree eating some glazed ham. The only difference is his name is Yehochanan Yahuwah ben Yehoiada. You know what I'm saying? What? You know, so that's terrible. You might as well just stayed in the church where you was at. You know what I'm saying? So, to make this long story short, I'm finna cut from it though, but my bigger picture to everybody is, do your job, stay in your lane. If your job is only to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments and be a light to the people that see your behavior, then do that. Everybody not spokesmen. Everybody not preachers. Everybody not teachers. But if somebody asks you how to obtain that self-worth and peace that you get, then it's your job to tell them, I got it from this holy Bible. I got it from these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? That's where your job can come in at. Everybody ain't Farrakhan. Everybody ain't Khalil Muhammad. Everybody ain't, like I said, a super brew. Everybody ain't in your face. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not Joe Osteen. Everybody ain't Joyce Myers. I keep saying them names because every time I see them, you know, they talk this good old game, but won't crack the Bible open once. I be like, damn, where's their Bible at? I mean, a couple times I was looking, I didn't even see no Bible up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they better off just calling themselves motivational speakers. You know what I'm saying? What up, Kyle? What up, Ronnie? I'm just keeping it 100. Like, Joe Osteen, y'all better not, don't kick me out the Hebrew Guild. But it's a couple times I actually just left him on for a little while. And I was like, you know, that was some really good advice. And then he'll say something about the Bible and it'd be all off. And I'd be like, oh, God, just put the Bible down, man. You could have just left that out your speech. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, you know, so this is the message, y'all. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to impress no other Israelite around you, as far as you don't have to meet their standard of what a true servant of God is. You need to meet the standard, and that goes for me too. I'm still working on myself, y'all. That's why people ask me why I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. They figure I got the capability to do it, and I know the people to do it. Have you thought? I'm learning to stay in my lane. This is what I'm good at, and when it's time for me to speak, I speak. And I usually get my job accomplished. Y'all feel me? I'm not trying to be any of the prestigious teachers that we got, and we got some. We have some prestigious teachers that if the circumstances were different, most of the world would listen to them. But you got to understand, God got a plan too, and your plan can never circumvent the Most High's plan. So our goal is we need to learn to stay in our lane, because at the end of the day, they fit is truth. So however you bring this truth, bring it. If it's just from living that life and sustaining from things that they figure you should be a part of. And I'm going to end with this. For example, just imagine the more people that find out they Israel and the stranger that sojourn with us, right? And what's one of the first things they're going to do? Stop keeping Christmas. Oh, let's just leave it there. Now, we just had Halloween passed, right? We didn't beat that up enough. Let's just look at it. What Israelite in their right mind gonna keep Christmas? I ain't gotta beat you up for keeping Christmas, but you gonna notice that I don't keep Christmas. And you notice I ain't coming to none of your Christmas parties, so don't even ask. That's less people that's being made merchandise out of. We ain't buying no Christmas trees. We ain't buying no Santa Claus videos. We ain't buying no Christmas carol music, something, whatever. We ain't around here buying no damn lights, lighting up the whole block like Satan description, Lucifer, you know, with the pretty green, red. And I don't know if y'all paid that attention. It's real attractive, too. I ain't gonna lie. It still catches me sometime around that Christmas year. I get to look at like, oh, man, that's a pretty. And I have to catch myself like, you know, that's Satan was pretty. That nigga ain't high no messed up grill with no pointy. You know, he ain't high none of that. No, he was attractive, man. That's one of the reasons he got so proud, you know, puffed up. And so if we just spread that, that's more people that is not feeding into capitalism. So they gonna attack you. And the churches is connected with that. That's why a lot of them preachers know the truth, but they won't preach it because they don't want their pockets to fail. Y'all feel me? So this is why I'm telling y'all they fear the truth. So with that, I say, I'm gonna come back and check these messages, y'all. So I just wanna end with this part. They fear the truth, y'all. This ain't no competition. Bring it the way you bring it. I bring it the way I bring it, you know. But in the end of the day, we got to be living examples, or you just a hypocrite. You just a flat out hypocrite. And I'm gonna tell you something about the God of Israel. He will put you on blast. You could think you hiding from everybody else, but he will open the floodgates and put all your business out there. So if you gonna play with it, you might as well just leave it alone. Because your day coming, you're going to get the clothes snatched off of you. Your nakedness just going to be shown. So they fear the truth, y'all. Keep doing what y'all doing the way that y'all do it. Just remember, the goal is to bring in and change as many lives as possible, because I think it's selfish that you will take this truth, this beautiful truth that he say it's real sweet when it go in your mouth, but it's bitter in your belly. You know why it get bitter in your belly? Because you realize how off everybody else is. You realize how many people is leading themselves to destruction. But the taste of it sweet. You like, ooh, I didn't know that. And you want to hurry up and go tell somebody about this. But a lot of people just won't receive it. So my point is, I think this the whole point. I'm gonna lose myself because I didn't turned on preacher mode, right? I don't have a problem with me. I'm a preacher. Solomon was a preacher. To some of you retarded Israelites that laugh at people who preachers, you know. Solomon was a preacher. You know what Ecclesiastes mean? Never mind. See, I don't even want to get too deep with y'all. But my whole thing is just keep doing what the Most High has put in you to do, right? Don't worry about everybody else, how they doing it or nothing like that. As long as it ain't, you know, if you see something destructive, you call it out. But first and foremost, we just need to show that our God of Israel is not a liar. He not vain. So if that's the fact that's established there, we just have to never lose that. We can't never lose that image. You know what I'm saying? Because we represent God, you know. That don't mean you high holy, you dropped out of heaven, you know, your flatulence or gas, in other words, smell like roses. No. We got flaws like everybody else. The fact is, when the things that we can change, we will. The things that we can't change, we let the Most High deal with. And so with that, y'all, I love y'all. Like I say, I don't know when I'm going to be doing a video. This might go on YouTube just because I see the responses down there. And whenever I make a video, even when I'm being silly sometimes, even when I'm bumming on somebody sometimes, I hope it's a result at the end of it. And I hope at the end of it, somebody see it and say, you know what? That's some real spit right there. I can take that. That's real spit. I said spit, not SH. But somebody say I'm rude in speech or something like that. So with that, y'all, I say shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Soda.